While there are many ways to clean a walleye, this is my favorite. It yields the best tasting fillet, leaves no bones, and most importantly wastes as little meat as possible in the process. Alright, I'm going to do a video about how to clean a walleye, but first I like to cut their gills. This bleeds them out so that there's not blood left in the meat. Makes them taste a lot better and kills them faster. More ethically, I suppose. Should struggle a few times. That should flush the blood out. It's important to do it while they're alive and their heart is pumping so that the blood drains. If they're not alive, the blood won't drain as easily. Alright, find a place to clean this fish. Take a video. Peace. Alright, well this is exciting. I'm in the boundary waters on Wind Lake and I caught a walleye and I'm going to show you how to clean it. But first I want to measure it. Thinking it's about 18 or 19. Mouth closed, tail pinched. Just shy of 19. Since I'm in the boundary waters, I'm going to have to leave the skin on, so I'll do the rest of this at home in a different video. I've got my little 4 1/4 inch fillet knife, which is not ideal for something like this. This is a little big, but I really like the small one because it doesn't weigh anything and it's easy to pack on a trip. So I'll get these fillets off and then show you how to do the rest. So what I like to do first, I kind of follow this line where his gill plate, I believe, and his fin line up because I want to get as much of this chunky head meat as possible. I cut down at an angle and go all the way through right in front of the fins. Still alive. Flip them over. Ooh, his fat sack came out. Flip them over. Press down with my hand so I can control the angle of his dorsal fin. What I want to do next is slowly poke until I hit the ribs, butting right up against that dorsal fin. So what I'm doing is removing as much meat as possible from around his spine. So I'm actually kind of flexing the knife like this as I go, and that allows me to push up against his spine without breaking through it. When I get past the vent on the back side here, I push straight through, continuing to follow that spine so the knife pops out the top. I put my hand over because I want to be cutting away from myself, so this might obstruct the view, but I put my hand over, press down, and do the same thing with the flex of the blade. Get as much of that meat as I can. And then I stop right there. I do the other side so that the fillet is still in place. If the fillet is not in place, the fish won't lay flat, so I don't disconnect the fillet immediately. This walleye has a full belly. This side's a different angle, but essentially the same. Straight down to the pectoral fin, hit the spine, turn the blade 90 degrees, same thing, press down on the fish, flex the blade. There we go. Rib cage stop all the way through, as you can see there, right up against the fin on the bottom. Not sure what that fin's called. All right. So from here, it's personal preference. Some people start at the top and start peeling the skin back. I like to start back here and work underneath the belly fat, or sorry, underneath the bottom of the rib cage. That way I just don't miss any meat that's close to those rib bones. So I'm going to start at the bottom. I, again, want to just follow the spine, cutting out as much meat as I possibly can, which on this fish is easy because it's huge. And I just kind of peel as I go. So this knife is nice because I can kind of scoop around. It's a really short blade. If you have a longer blade, this part is harder to do. But a longer blade is definitely preferable, 6, 7, 8 inches for removing the skin, getting the fillet. Removing the fillet from the skin, I should say. All right, so I'm cutting up towards the fillet, or towards the skin. Now I'm going to cut back down now that I've got past the tip of the rib cage. Down. Now we get the bottom part of the fillet without missing anything. All right. From there, just disconnect. There's fillet number 1. That is a juicy fillet. And as you can see, there's almost no blood in the meat. It's a really pale fillet because I bled it, which is ideal. It's a healthy walleye. Look at all that stomach fat. This guy's already ready for winter. This side's got a little more blood on it. All right, all the way down to the spine. What I'm doing on the bottom here is keeping away from his vent and his fin. So I'm getting as much meat as possible without getting the tainted meat. No pun intended. Hey-o. There we go. There's fillet number 2. All right, walleye cheeks. Best part of the walleye. So they kind of scoop like a plate, or I guess a bowl. Anyway, so I come in at an angle. I start at the top, poke straight down, just kind of cookie cutter around, using his cheekbone, or jaw, I guess, as a guide. Now, basically can just use the knife to get to the skin. And then once I separate the meat from the skin, it should just peel right off. All right, now comes probably the toughest part of cleaning a fish, is separating the skin, especially if you don't have a cutting board, separating the skin from the meat. What I like to do is cut a wedge that I will later use to hold on to. So this wedge angled down, so you maximize how much meat you get out of it. We'll start as close as you can to the end. Now I'm down on the skin. Now is where I rely on the flex of my blade. Okay, since that last one didn't go particularly smoothly, I'm going to try to use the shaft, or the blade of my paddle. It's bent shaft, so it's hard to get it to lay flat, but we'll try on this rock. Probably not going to sit still, but it'll still be easier. There we go. Quite a bit easier. It's nice to have that flat surface so you can bend your blade along it. I'm going to take the whole back strap here, and then I'm going to go back and get that belly meat because this is too big of a fillet for this knife. I like carrying this knife though because it's good for the intricate stuff, and it's small and lightweight, so it doesn't take up a lot of room. Fits in a tackle box or a little bag. Life jacket pocket. Get rid of that. Kind of a butcher job, but got it done. 2 big fillets, 2 cheeks, and a set of wings. Thank you for watching my video on how to fillet a walleye. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content.